In the southern United States, where the Mississippi flows and history runs deep, a new force is emerging. Elon Musk, a leading figure in advancing technology, is developing an artificial intelligence that operates continuously. In Memphis, Tennessee, this code is evolving, signaling the arrival of a powerful new creation.
You said something that caught me right away when we were discussing various issues just before we started. You said you were up till 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
so,
actually a little more like 5 in the morning. But
okay.
We got the XAI data center or supercomputer center training from beginning installation to start of training in 19 days, which is the fastest that anyone has ever gotten a supercomputer to train.
And is that in that new building off to the side?
That's in Memphis, actually.
It's in Memphis.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis,
okay.
The capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you about alignment.
I wish that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering if this is Egypt. What that look like? Y'all see? It's all around me. They put it in plain sight, y'all. And y'all thought this was just a zoo. Huh? Hey, they thought this was just a zoo. It's not just a zoo. Look at this. Y'all see that? Look at that bamboo. Right? Always spot me some bamboo.
Did anybody catch what Elon said about what's going to come out of Memphis? And if you see what's going on in Memphis right now, there's some fucking bullshit going on in Memphis. A lot of violence, a lot of things on the streets going on. Pretty wild. But did anybody catch what Elon said in an interview about the new God? Our new God's going to come from Memphis. And if you know what he's doing in his business in Memphis with AI, go down that little rabbit hole, see where that comes out. But I hadn't seen a video of this, and I should have jumped on it when I saw this. And it's been a while back I saw this, that he literally made the comment that our new God is going to come out of Memphis. And the interviewer was like, started laughing and was like, oh, that don't sound, and Elon's laughing about it. And the interviewer's like, that's not funny. Pretty wild. But if you get a chance, try to look up that interview. I can't remember who the interviewer was. I think his name was Jordan, but not 100% sure about that. But if you want to go down a rabbit hole, start chasing down Elon in Memphis, Tennessee.
Listen up. Listen. Memphis, Tennessee need help. Memphis, Tennessee, they need help. They polluted the air. Elon Musk has polluted the air. Elon Musk is using all the water. They coming to the city to cool the computers off. Elon Musk has put a big hole on the grid, on the electrical grid. Elon Musk is straining the city of its water supply. The people of Memphis need help. The people of Memphis wearing masks. They wearing, Memphis is going down right now. Memphis is going down. Please send some help to Memphis, Tennessee. They sucking all the water up. They taking all the electricity. Memphis need help.
Common sense is at an all-time low, and denial is a motherfucker. That's why I'm going to present you with the facts and expect you to do the heavy lifting with your critical thinking. First and foremost, the Mississippi River is the true Nile. In Isaiah 11:15, it says, "And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod." That's what it says. The Nile does not do this. But you know what does? The Mississippi. Second point. The Mississippi still runs through the ancient cities that it ran through in the beginning of time: Thebes, Cairo, and Memphis. You have been made to believe that we named our cities after modern-day Egypt, when in fact that is not true. Modern-day Egypt named its cities after our cities in ancient America, which is also ancient Egypt. And before this video gets too long, I'm just gonna add in a final point. Did you know that the Americas have more pyramids than the entire planet combined? Yeah.
So Elon Musk's company, his AI company, actually got caught with flooding black communities with airborne toxins. Airborne toxins. We already knew that Elon was an asshole, but no, he's an actual piece of shit. He's a literal piece of shit. So I'm just going to read this and you can go and fact check this. You know, I'm all for that. So Elon Musk's AI company, XAI, is under fire in Memphis. Their massive supercomputer AI facility needs so much power that they've secretly been running dozens of methane gas turbines without full permits. Aerial footage showed 35 gas turbines operating in historically black neighborhoods, right? Pumping pollutions like nitrogen oxide, formaldehyde, right? And particularly matters linked to asthma, cancer, and respiratory illnesses in the air. The company only had permits to operate 15, and they were operating 35. 35 in historically black neighborhoods. The local grid could not meet Musk's energy demands, so instead of slowing down, XAI plowed ahead, risking the health of an already overburdened community for profit. Once again, billionaires break the rules and regular people pay the price. It's not just regular people, it's black people. It's black people. It's black people. You're not doing that in the poor white neighborhoods. It's black people. You, Elon Musk, are an actual piece of shit. You are a literal piece of shit, and I cannot wait for God to deal with you accordingly.
Do you think it's by accident that all the tech giants are moving into the Memphis area? I don't, and there's a blind item about it as well. Let's get into it. Elon, it's being said that you bought off an entire town, allegedly, for entertainment and educational purposes only, the town of Memphis. And now the residents there say they are choking on its pollution of your supercomputer. And let's not forget that right across the bridge in Arkansas and West Memphis, Google is moving there. At least a facility. But do you really think that it's an accident that this pyramid is sitting right there and that all these tech giants are now starting to mobilize around this area? I don't. Do you remember what they said about certain things being chained up under the river? Do you think it's a coincidence that this is here and that it used to be a concert hall for all of Hollywood and everybody else to come and attend? No, because it will suck the living life right out of you. Trust me, I drove by there today and I can attest to its power. It's what's underneath that started drying up all around there at one point. Now it has water in it, yes, but it was almost dried up before. What do you think's under there? I know what I think's under there.
There's no in the book of Enoch that these watchers, if you want to call them, are messenger class of angelic beings, advanced mankind, meaning gave them knowledge that they did not have, brought them into what we would call occultic or hidden knowledge, right? This is the stuff right now that your science is made up right now. See, it's funny until Elon Musk say that, guess what? The new God is coming out of Memphis. Now, that don't mean nothing to you, right? Until you start looking up Memphis and find out that Memphis is actually an ancient Egyptian city, the ancient Egyptian capital. And you know what he doing down there in Memphis, right? He got him a nice, what he say? He said he got him a nice supercomputer down there. He went on to say that AI, artificial intelligence, that they summoning a demon. Ain't nobody paying attention. And nobody, the Bible is so accurate when it says, just like the days of Noah. They could tell you right to your face what's going on, what they doing, and guess what? You don't care. But you gonna care when Tesla bot show up, and it ain't just Tesla bot. You think you talking to what's her name, Alexa? You think you talking to Alexa. until you realize what a disembodied spirit actually is. So these beings advance mankind. So see, we think we advance it now, but the Bible has another take on it. They had already advanced them. So when they wondering how to this day, they can't figure out how them pyramids was built. When they wondering to this day, some of the greatest architecture of the world, they don't know how it was built. You know how long it take us to build a building? With our knowledge, with our technology? And these jokers got buildings with doors 3 times the size of a human being. Who was going through them doors? Maybe those Nephilim. Maybe them giants they was talking about was on the earth. So they said that they advanced mankind, teaching them what we call pharmacy. That's what they taught them, pharmakia. Teaching them witchcraft, how to mix herbs, teaching them enchantments. Teaching you know, you like that? You like your little sage, You like your little your little beads and stuff, You like praying to your little goddesses, You like your little ancestors, don't you? Teaching them how to conjure, how to do spells, how to read constellations, right? Teaching them the signs of the earth and the sun and the moon. So you think this stuff came from nowhere, teaching them weaponry, teaching them about metals and crafts and ornaments, teaching them about plants and herbs and roots, advancing mankind. Is it making sense?
Let me tell y'all a little something some of y'all don't know. Memphis is the old Egypt, y'all. That's why there's a lot of violence, turmoil, all that going on, because they really got us under curses and spells and all type of stuff. And I do think Elon Musk got a big part to play in this, because why would he come to Memphis to build an AI computer or whatever? But y'all get what I'm saying. If y'all want more, I got y'all more. Comment, like, share the video for part 2. I'm gone.
Memphians literally can't breathe because of the amount of toxins that are being emitted into our atmosphere. And yes, I'm talking about Elon Musk's supercomputer, which is located here in Memphis, particularly in the South Memphis Boxtown neighborhood. Yes, I'm talking about that supercomputer. Say I first got placed in Memphis, Elon's company was violating the Clean Air Act. I want you to know that is one of the reasons why his company Doge was going after the EPA, so they would not have to adhere to governmental regulation. Supercomputers placement in Memphis is not going to be something that is isolated to just the community of Boxtown or South Memphis, which already has 4 times the cancer rate, and Memphis as a whole has the highest pediatric hospitalizations for asthma in the state of Tennessee. But I digress. This is going to be something that is going to affect the whole city and even surrounding counties. So I got a message from a lady that lives in the Raleigh-Bartlett area. And she said that she is complaining, saying that it's hard for her to breathe now. Like the last couple of months, it has been extremely hard for her to breathe. So I want you to think about that. Bartlett, you're not safe. Germantown isn't safe. All of these surrounding suburbs are not safe. And we could even say the surrounding counties and the surrounding cities. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not just going to affect Shelby County, Memphis. This is going to affect surrounding counties and the surrounding cities. I talked to a parent whose husband works in West Memphis, and he says that the fumes are so strong that they can smell it over the bridge. This was a literal conversation that I had today. Let me just tell the city of Memphis that your city has been sold to the highest bidder. Greatest Memphis Chamber is bringing all of this bullshit into the city. It's not even Mayor Paul Young. I do think that he is weak leadership and he is lining his own pockets. But it is Greater Memphis Chamber who is approving all of this. Then they get the mayor to sign off on it. Then the health department, and all of this bullshit just gets put in the city. If you don't believe me, listen to Ted Townsend talk about the new data center that they are bringing here that is going to pollute the city even more. Oh yeah, and it's a cryptocurrency mining facility that's coming here also that's going to pollute the city. We have no benefits for these things. These jobs are not going to Memphians, but even if they were, what is a job in comparison to your health? When you have people that are getting cancer at an alarming rate, is it really worth a job? I want you to ask yourself that, the city of Memphis. Because everybody doesn't know, the Greater Memphis Chamber is the one that signed NDAs saying that they would not reveal what was in those contracts. Other officials have also MLG and W signed NDAs, which is why your bill is going up. So not only is this affecting your air, it's going to affect your water too, but I'm not going to go into that. It's also going to affect our grid system because of the amount of power that this thing is requiring. And just know that it increases in power ever so often. So every few months, it's using more power. It's so much power that it could power as many houses that are in Memphis. That's how much power this thing is using.
Bruh, Moth is the Hebrew name for Memphis, appearing in Hosea 9:6. The city is also referred to as North. Now, why we say North Memphis for no reason? We ain't know that shit was in the Bible.
Now let's pick a house in Memphis and go inside to see how the people lived.
Look.
The Egyptians appreciated beautiful objects for daily use, especially personal ones, like the vases that contained corn, a mascara they painted round their eyes.
Women paint stuff on the eye, women. Look, a red bone.
Cosmetics were widely used,
and a melanated one.
Not only by the rich. Some even carried a cone of ointment on their heads, which melted in the heat of the day and trickled down into their hair, giving off a pleasant perfume.
Now, don't black women put all this stuff in their heads and let it just drip everywhere?
In America, we must allow ourselves to fully grasp what occurred in the Tennessee landscape before the documented arrival of European settlers. For this history, we will be looking at the oldest photographs of Memphis, Tennessee, and we will turn to the currently accepted narrative, which, believe it or not, appears to paint a picture which is still being misunderstood today. From the year 10,000 BC, large portions of the southern United States, including Tennessee, were inhabited by Paleo-Indigenous people. These Paleo-Indigenous people being the first humans to settle in the Americas following the last glacial period. The seemingly agreed upon yet often debated theory for the arrival of these first humans to America suggests that they traveled from what is today northern Russia, including the lands composing Siberia, crossing a land bridge which once existed across the Bering Strait, known as Beringia. In this theory, these hunter-gatherers followed the ancient big game which crossed the land bridge as the last glaciers melted. These first humans to America continue to arrive between the years 45,000 and 12,000 BC, according to this currently accepted history. As these hunter-gatherers began to adopt farming, and with the arrival of new forms of trade, these Paleo-Indigenous people of America amalgamated and then formed the archaic Indigenous people of America, who dominated the Southern American landscape, including Tennessee, from as early as 8,000 BC through roughly the year 1000 BC. The archaic Indigenous people began to form small settlements throughout the Americas, developing the trade routes which would become the paths that were later traveled by early European settlers centuries later. However, before these European settlers arrived to the southern United States, we have the final, significant grouping of indigenous people who dominated the U.S. from roughly 1000 BC onward. Before European settlers arrived, from roughly 1000 BC through the year 1500, the Americas were dominated by the woodland indigenous culture, an overarching term for a vast assortment of tribes who called America home. This included, in the area of Tennessee and most parts of the Mississippi River Basin, the Mississippian culture, also known as the Mississippi Mound Builders. However, do not let this name fool you. Large burial mounds, earthen effigies and earth mounds, as well as entire earthen fortifications, often associated with the Mississippi Mound Builders, can be found as far north as Pennsylvania and New York. In some instances, these mounds served multiple purposes and could even be interconnected over large pieces of land. Many theorize that from these earliest mounds and the paths created to interconnect them between the cultures of early American indigenous people developed the sites which became the first major European forts and towns in America. In Tennessee, the Mississippi Mound Builders were known as the Tipton culture, or the Tipton phase, which was a time period consisting of a large assortment of mounds and earthworks being created throughout Tennessee directly before European arrival. Interestingly, Hernando de Soto of Spain is documented as the first European to arrive to what is present-day Memphis, Tennessee, and this occurred in the 1540s. De Soto was believed to have documented what were the last aspects of the Mississippi mound builder culture. However, when the French arrived to the area of Memphis in the late 1600s, it was said to be occupied by an entirely new group of indigenous people. known as the Chickasaw tribe. Here is where we find another really interesting aspect of this narrative. In the earliest photographs of the Chickasaw people, and in artistic depictions predating photography from the 18th and even the 17th centuries, the Chickasaw are almost always depicted looking, dressing, and conducting business in a European-centric style. As we come to the earliest maps of the South, including a 1724 map of the tribes between Charleston, South Carolina, and Virginia, the Chickasaw are not only labeled as the closest tribe to Virginia and the European settlers, but the Chickasaw are also a tribe which appears to be entirely separated from the other tribes of the South, having their only connection to trade being with the Cherokee, who would then conduct trade with the numerous other tribes of the South. The Chickasaw appeared isolated, as if they developed independently of the tribes around them. Adding to this intrigue is the mysterious history of the Chickasaw people who once dominated a large area of the South, including Tennessee. According to scholars, the Chickasaw arrived from the western United States, traveling to the South with the Choctaw indigenous people. In the Chickasaw creation legend, the often pale-skinned Chickasaw are said to have been startled when their tranquil and isolated existence was interrupted by the Choctaw, who, according to this myth, emerged from a giant earth mound nearby the Chickasaw villages. As the darker complexioned Choctaw intermingled with the Chickasaw, their community together grew to immense proportions, leading to the tribe elders ordering the two tribes, now one, to move east past the Mississippi River. Here, the elders believed a great new landscape would be discovered, and according to the Chickasaw creation legend, this is when the Chickasaw and the Choctaw reached the abandoned mound cities of the Mississippi mound builders. Once in this new landscape, their new-founded home, we're told the Chickasaw and the Choctaw again went their separate ways. We're told by the late 1600s, with the arrival of both French and English colonists, trade routes were quickly established. The Choctaw, who often captured other indigenous people, apparently began selling these indigenous people into slavery, a practice that was overwhelmingly common at this time. The Chickasaw, who were said to have not committed this practice, also quickly traded with the European colonists to gain European arms, which they then quickly used to battle the Choctaw and end the practice of selling captured Chickasaw to the Europeans. However, when the Europeans also armed the Choctaw, the conflict between the Choctaw and the Chickasaw continued well into the early 1700s. As the Chickasaw unified with the British and the Choctaw with the French, the two sides continued to battle in Tennessee and the surrounding lands well into the mid-1700s. During the 7 Years' War, the Choctaw were mostly expelled from the Chickasaw lands as the British defeated the French. However, by the American War for Independence, both sides, Chickasaw and Choctaw, were said to have fought on the side of the United States of America. Fort Prudhomme was built near present-day Memphis by the French to defend from the Chickasaw in the mid-1680s. This fort predated Anglo-American settlements in Memphis by well over 70 years. The French again fortified the area around Memphis before the year 1739, culminating in the French campaign of 1739, where the French used Memphis as a base of operations against the Chickasaw.
Do not believe that the supercomputer placement being in Memphis was intentional, you are naive and gullible as hell. It's because of the water, and it's because we're a poor black city. Well, at least that's how everybody looks at us, right? This has been getting exploited for years because of it being a poor black city. We have over 66 toxic industrial plants, and half of them, 33, are in South Memphis. Not okay at all. As a result, especially in the areas that are in close proximity to the plant, you have infertility issues, very, very high cancer rates. At South Memphis, 4 times the cancer average. Poor air quality. Well, the air quality is just shitty all around the city now. Ramifications so harsh that the communities have been filing class action lawsuits because it's just such disaster, right? You know how much water consumption, how much energy, how much pollution that thing is going to emit. It is not surprising that they chose Memphis because they knew that they would not give a fuck, right? Because why the hell is Shelby County just signing off on all these goddamn permits? It don't have its permit yet either. At this point, it's so much pollution that it's kind of hard to escape it. It's not just in the communities that they put it in, it travels. Don't act like we don't have wind. People in Arkansas can feel it too. Despite our mayor trying to lie and deflect and act like, oh, the pollution isn't that bad, a lot of Memphians saw through the bullshit and were really concerned about what is going to happen because we saw the data and we see what it's going to do. And not to mention that similar people that have supercomputers in their city are not happy either. Let me say this, we still gonna give them hell because regardless of what anybody thinks, it is making a difference. Change is not going to happen overnight. Nothing comes easy, okay? If it comes easy, you shouldn't have it. Remember that. Tomorrow, the county commissioner is having a meeting. In it is a resolution to pause what is going on and to hear the community and hear what they have to say. If it does not, what will likely happen is they will give XAI a permit for their gas turbine. Let me say this, that the Shelby County Health Department ass don't get off either. I'm looking into a class action lawsuit. Why? Because they have failed to protect the people by letting any and all bullshit come into this city. People continue to let industry into this city, knowing the cancer rates, the same neighborhoods, mind you, knowing the cancer rates, knowing that our air quality was failing, knowing the kids were having elevated respiratory issues, and not just kids, adults too. Let's say it's incompetence, but it's not. All of that shit was intentional, and don't think that it wasn't. And I just want to say this. As a people, if you do not think that Memphis fight is not your fight, it is your fight. Because when we were at the meeting on Saturday, the town hall meeting, a lady came up to me and she said that she wanted me to help her get the word out about what was happening in her town. She was from a little country town in Tennessee. It was a black town and they were bringing in a factory. And that factory would bulldoze all the black farmers' land. But they didn't touch the white people's land at all though. Last thing, I am selling my shirts, Memphis Girls Hate Pollution, just to bring awareness to the situation. And I will be at the University of Memphis on Friday selling the shirts also. So if you are in the Memphis area and you want a shirt, come out and get one, please. Also, I am putting up a website. My website should be up and running tomorrow. And I'm just creating my own organization just for environmental and human rights, period. Just because I feel like that is needed, especially in today's climate. A lot of things that I feel like it shouldn't be radical, but a lot of people feel like it's radical. So that's why I'm just trying to start my own organization just because I really care about the city and I want the city to thrive again. And this is not something that is going to make it thrive.
If you are from Memphis, Tennessee, or just care about natural resources at all, listen up. So Elon Musk is in the stages of completing his XAI supercomputer in Memphis, Tennessee, in South Memphis. He is going to ruin our water there, period. I mean, there's no way that couldn't happen. It will take over 1 million gallons of water a day to keep the supercomputer from overheating, according to an article I just read from a organization called Tennessee Aquifer org, and join them. And if you are passionate about keeping water clean in Tennessee, I live in Nashville now. I cannot drink this water. It's disgusting. It's not like Memphis at all. I can't wash my hair in the water there, or I can, but it makes my hair kind of like weird. It's not pure water. Make a change, try to sign petitions to keep this from happening. I grew up in Memphis my whole life. My whole family lives there still. Read up about it. And Elon Musk, if you're listening, stay out of Memphis. Build your facility somewhere else, like on Mars or something. We don't want you building a facility in Memphis.
You can smell it as well. Such a disturbingly unique smell.
Mobile gas turbines.
I have never seen portable turbines used like this.
I've talked to the XAI leadership team. There are 35, but there are only 15 that are on. The other ones are stored on the site.
What we saw is 33 of the 35 were very clearly operating. They built a power plant out there. Overnight, no air pollution controls, quick and dirty, no permit.
This is incredible. Just in a handful of weeks.
Any given thing can be sped up.
Yeah.
Like whatever speed is being done, it can be done faster.
Very impressive, very exciting for Memphis.
It's treating the people who live there as if they don't count.
When I smelled it the first time, I was asleep. And it woke me up because I thought gas was seeping in the house, but come to find out, we come outside and all the neighbors was outside trying to figure out what's going on. I have asthma, bronchitis. My mom have just bronchitis, and now my granny has it.
You can't hardly breathe. It's just like your whole world is collapsing down on you.
The area around XAI leads the state in emergency department visits for asthma. Memphis has one of the highest rates of toxic air releases of any American city, and many of its most polluting facilities are in this neighborhood.
They are emitting somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 tons of NOx, larger than anything else in Memphis.
Formaldehyde causes cancer, and particulate matter, airborne soot, can pass through your lungs and into your bloodstream, causing heart disease.
We expect them to do what is in our best interest. Not Elon Musk. That starts now.
That's the first time that XAI has publicly addressed the community. He immediately left after reading his script. It's extremely disrespectful.
The EPA has done nothing, and Elon Musk is doing what he can to keep it that way. The EPA announced plans to roll back over 30 air and water quality standards. The new head of the agency describes promoting the AI industry as a core part of the EPA's mission.
It's about unleashing energy dominance, making America the AI capital of the world, and the EPA can't be restrictive of that.
I'm happy to announce that XAI is increasing their footprint.
It's building a second larger data center.
Oh yeah, we've already started work on the next cluster. Yeah, about 5 times the power.
Where its construction permit application indicates it's considering using between 40 and 90 gas turbines and enough electricity to power 40% of Memphis.
So we're not like stopping here. Trailer after trailer of generators until we can get the utility power to come in. You know, it's like interesting. It's not like, oh, we just magically made it happen. You have to break down the problem just like Grok does for reasoning.
XAI did not respond to questions for this report.
Stay hydrated. I eat a lot of fruit.
Use Dasani. You drink Dasani water.
You know, Memphis got the best tap water. I drink tap water. We got the best tap water. We got a whole junk under the river that clean our water.
Memphis has the largest rate of pediatric asthma-related hospitalizations and ER visits in the state of Tennessee. And that, I can tell you right now, is related to the pollution levels in Memphis. So what is the city of Memphis officials' solutions to that problem? Bring more pollution to the fucking city. And most of that pollution is located in South Memphis and Southwest Memphis. Why? Because they are preying on those people. I'm telling you right now, I taught in South Memphis. Those kids, they had asthma so bad. It was not normal. Anybody can say, oh, it's because of other things. It's lies. It's fucking lies. Once you see kids passing away because of that shit, you cannot say that you care about the black community and you don't care about all the things that are wrong with it. Yes, crime might be an issue, but that's an issue too. Me, myself, I have trouble breathing in this fucking city, right? That's how I know the placement of this computer was super intentional. And anybody that says it wasn't is a damn fool. And pollution should not be just accepted. Because when you look at the rates, when you look at the statistics, the shit directly correlates. And it is having harmful effects on the community and the people. And miss me with the what about the crime? Well, you do something about the crime. Because last time I checked, I'm focusing on an issue while some people are criticizing me because I want kids to have clean air and clean water. That's crazy. Computer requires so much. The amount of energy consumption, they are not being transparent. They are going to have to tap into our aquifer. I don't give a fuck if they say something about a gray water facility treatment. It cannot keep up with the demands. It is increasing in usage. So it's not going to be the same 6 months from now. It is not going to be the same a year from now. Eventually, it is going to have to tap into the aquifer. It is going to keep polluting the air. I have had people that have went by that facility. They said it fucking burns their nostrils. That's how fucking bad it is. This current spring has been one of the dirtiest we have ever had. My own eyelash tech said that she was grateful for how much water we had. All the storms, just because it was clearing up the air. Just think about that for a second. That's how fucking dirty our air is. And some people are okay with this. Like, no, not at all. So I'm going to keep speaking on this subject because of that, what has happened? The Shelby County Health Department has opened up a public comment section. We got this solution passed. So please write the public comment section. Please submit a public comment. It is now into all of April. We got into April the 30th to fill in a form so you can say a public comment and how you are opposed, so this thing cannot get a permit because it does not have a permit as of right now. Lastly, there will be a meeting with Justin J. Pearson. It is an environmental justice town hall meeting. It will be this weekend. I got the information right here. If you can make it, please make it. But the most important thing is submitting the information to the Shelby County Health Department. The link is in my bio. Like, we have to save our city. Like I said, I'm starting an organization. I'm trying to have the meeting next week on Good Friday. I'm trying to rent out a venue. I'm going to give you guys more information, so please come out if you can. Like, it is up to us to fix our city. The officials ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, it is up to people in their late 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s to build this city back up. Because if it's up to the officials, they will let us fucking die. Like, I saw how that 17-year-old boy, he had to drain the clock. He had to clean the drainage system himself. Like, that's fucking crazy. But like I said, if it's up to the officials, they will let us die. So yes, this does have some of the best water in the world, and they're fucking gaslighting us into believing that they're not going to touch our aquifer. That they're not going to go into the aquifer. They are. That wastewater facility cannot keep up with the demands of this supercomputer. If you knew how much water that thing demands, you would know it's going to, it can't keep up with it. It just can't. The water facility has a capacity of 13 million gallons per day to cool down 1 million GPUs. They are sharing this facility with 2 other entities, so they are going to go over the capacity of 13 million gallons per day. Right now, the AI is only trying to do 1 million GPUs, but they're training it to do more. So it's going to require more water. You see where I'm going with this? And mind you, we have the other data center too. So where do you think this is going to go for us? Where do you think this is going to go for Memphians? So our water will be affected. More pollution, in which Memphis cannot stand any more pollution at all. And I would die on this, right? You know that pollution does what? It kills a community. It devalues the community. And the corporations are the ones that benefit, not the people. You got to be hipper than that. We done saw this too many times. How many times have they done this? They started in the 70s and people thought it was going to bring jobs, yada, yada. What it brought was cancer, asthma, bronchitis, and a plethora of other diseases, right? And then it devalued the community. Now, it doesn't even supply jobs to the area for real. It just exploits the people. So, fuck no. It's very unfortunate, but we gonna keep fighting this shit because no, I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not going to get exploited. And if you think this is not exploitation, then something is wrong with you. Like, this has been done so many times before, right? And you think that the apartheid white African is trying to help you? Be fucking for real. Like, he's doing this because he thinks nobody will check him. Be fucking for real.
Elon Musk, we do not want here in Memphis. This is a public hearing for the air permit being considered for the XAI facility.
See, I got asthma. My mama got asthma. My grandma is at home, 87 years old, got asthma, and she never had it before. I can't breathe at home. It smells like gas outside.
We've shown up here today because we're tired of going in and out of hospitals, going in and out of funeral homes. We've been paying taxes and we've been dying, and what we're saying is that stops now.
I'm going to invite a representative up from the applicant XAI, Mr. Brent Mayo, to come up and have a few words with the community.
Hello, everyone. The XAI is committed to meeting the highest standard for emissions. The XAI is going above and beyond the required emission control required.
People over profit! People over profit! People over profit!
Thank you very much for your time.
Wyeth is one of the most populated high schools in Memphis. Over 2,000 students in that building. And to build something that close to those kids, I'd be ashamed of myself.
XAI ran out of the door because they're nothing but some liars. We here because we need business. It's the job of the health department to protect our lungs and not run them with the XAI
lives across the street from her, kidney cancer, and I've smelled the smells. I see it in my job every day now. I'm not lying. They're not lying. We're not lying. We need the permit to be denied.
Our never said we deserve clean air. We deserve to be able to live in our communities and live long lives.
It's time to start telling the truth. The truth is that XAI, who just ran up out of here, they have no controls that prevent air pollution or decrease air pollution in their factories. None. That's the truth.
Do the right thing. Deny this permit. Elon Musk, we can't say it any plainer. We do not want him in